Most people don't realize how fragile a vision is in the beginning. When something is new in your mind, and when it's just an idea or a plan, you barely starting to understand yourself. It's like a spark. And sparks don't need wind, they need protection. The problem is a lot of people get excited and start telling everybody what they're about to build, where they're about to go, how they're about to change their life. It feels good in the moment. It feels like progress. But talking too early can be the fastest way to kill something that was meant to grow. Not everybody gonna see what you see. Not everybody gonna understand your hunger, your sacrifices, or your long nights. Some people gonna smile and nod, but deep down they don't believe in it. And doubt got a strange way of traveling. You might be solid when you first speak your vision out loud, but once you hear enough questions, enough sarcasm, enough fake support, it slowly creeps into your own mind. Now you're second guessing something that was clear to you before you shared it. A vision needs time to develop. It needs patience, discipline, and quiet work. When you keep your goals private, you give yourself space to figure things out without pressure. You allow yourself to grow without feeling like you owe the world updates or explanations. Because once people know what you're planning, they start expecting results on their timeline, not yours. And pressure from outside voices can rush you into making bad decisions, skipping steps, or quitting too early because you feel embarrassed. Silence gives you power to move at your own pace. It keeps your focus locked in. When you're not busy explaining your plans, you got more time to actually execute them. Every minute spent talking about what you're going to do is a minute taken away from doing it. And success don't respect conversations. Success respects consistency. Another thing people overlook is energy. Your ideas carry energy. Your dreams carry emotion, passion, and belief. When you tell everybody your next move, you're giving pieces of that energy away. Some people drain it with negativity. Some people drain it with fake encouragement that feels good but adds no real value. And sometimes people just watch and wait for you to fail, even if they never say it out loud. That type of energy can slow you down without you realizing it. When you stay silent, you keep your energy concentrated, you keep your hunger sharp, you build momentum quietly, step by step, brick by brick. And momentum built in silence is dangerous because nobody sees it coming. By the time the world notices, you're already 10 steps ahead. There's also strength in privacy. When your journey stays personal, your mistakes stay personal too. That means you can learn, adjust, and improve without public judgment. Failure hits different when it happens in front of an audience. It creates fear. It creates hesitation. But when you're working in silence, failure becomes a lesson instead of a performance. You recover faster. You grow stronger. You stay focused on the mission instead of worrying about opinions. Real confidence doesn't come from people knowing your goals. Real confidence comes from knowing you showing up for yourself every day, whether anybody watching or not. It comes from trusting your process so much that you don't need validation to keep going. Silence builds that kind of confidence because it forces you to rely on your discipline, not applause. And understand this, not everybody deserves access to your blueprint. Some people are meant to see the finished building, not the construction site. When too many people know your plans, you open the door to distraction, comparison, and unnecessary competition. Your journey is unique, and it deserves protection while it's being built. The strongest moves are usually the quiet ones. The biggest transformations happen behind closed doors, during nights. Nobody celebrates. During mornings, nobody congratulates. That's where character gets built. That's where resilience grows. That's where visions turn into reality. When you finally step out and show what you build, it speaks louder because it came from silence. It carries weight because it was developed with patience. And it commands respect because it proves you stay loyal to your dream without needing the world to approve it first. Protecting your vision isn't about hiding. It's about nurturing. It's about understanding that greatness needs space to grow. And sometimes the best way to make sure your future survives is learning how to keep it quiet while you work on bringing it to life. A lot of people fall in love with the idea of talking about success more than they fall in love with the work it takes to reach it. It's easy to announce a plan. It's easy to tell people what you're about to become, what business you're about to start, how your life about to change. Words come quick, they sound powerful, and they get attention. But attention and achievement are two different things. The world hears promises every day, but it only respects results. When you constantly announce your next move, you start chasing reactions instead of progress. You start measuring your growth by how many people clap for your plans instead of how much effort you put into your craft. And claps fade fast. Real progress stays. Real progress changes your position, your mindset, your environment, and your future. That kind of progress doesn't need introduction. It speaks for itself. There's something different about a person who moves quietly but works relentlessly. They don't feel the need to explain their grind because they understand the mission is bigger than recognition. They know that every hour spent mastering their skill, every sacrifice they make, every setback they push through is laying bricks for something solid. And bricks laid in silence build foundations that can't be shaken by opinion. Talking about goals can create an illusion of accomplishment. You get excited explaining your vision, you get motivated hearing yourself speak. And sometimes that feeling tricks your brain into thinking progress already happened. But progress only lives in action. Progress only shows up when you stay consistent, even when nobody checking on you, even when nobody congratulating you, even when the journey feels slow and lonely. Moves carry weight because they require discipline. Anybody can make an announcement, but not everybody can wake up daily and commit to improvement. Discipline means showing up when motivation disappears. It means working through frustration, learning through failure, and staying loyal to your purpose even when results take longer than expected. That type of effort builds credibility, not just with the world, but with yourself. People who focus on moves instead of announcements build confidence differently. Their confidence comes from experience, not validation. Every challenge they overcome becomes proof that they're capable. Every small win becomes fuel to push harder. They don't need to convince people they're serious because their consistency already proves it. Another thing about moving in action instead of words is protection. When you broadcast your plans too early, you expose yourself to distractions. You invite opinions from people who don't understand your vision. You invite pressure that can rush your process. Sometimes you even invite competition before you're ready for it. But when you focus on execution, you stay locked in your lane. You stay focused on your pace. You give your ideas time to grow into something strong enough to stand on its own. Real impact comes from what you build, not what you describe. History remembers achievements, not announcements. Nobody studies the plans that never turned into reality. They study the businesses that changed industries, the artists who transformed culture, the leaders who shifted communities. Those results came from work done behind the scenes, long before the world noticed. When your moves start speaking, they create a different type of respect. It's not loud, it's not temporary, it's solid. People trust action because it can't be faked. Words can be exaggerated, promises can be broken, but results are undeniable. When your life changes through your effort, you don't have to convince anybody. Your growth becomes visible. Your progress becomes evidence. There's also peace in focusing on action. You remove the pressure of trying to impress people and replace it with the purpose of improving yourself. You stop worrying about how your journey looks to others and start caring about how it feels to stay committed. That shift builds mental strength. It builds patience. It builds resilience that keeps you moving forward even when success takes time. The strongest statements you can make in life usually don't come from your mouth. They come from your habits. They come from your dedication. They come from the sacrifices you're willing to make to turn dreams into reality. When your lifestyle reflects your ambition, you don't need to announce your next level. People will notice it through your growth, your discipline, and your results. Staying focused on moves also teaches humility. It reminds you that success is earned daily, not declared once. It keeps you grounded in the understanding that every level requires new effort, new learning, and new discipline. That mindset keeps you hungry, and hunger is what keeps progress alive. In the end, announcements might bring temporary attention, but moves create lasting impact. Moves change your circumstances. Moves build your legacy. And when your life becomes proof of your dedication, your journey tells a story louder than any announcement ever could. Most people don't think about energy like it's something valuable, but energy controls everything. The way you think, the way you move, the way you chase your goals, all of it runs on the energy you carry every day. And just like money, if you keep spending it without paying attention, you're gonna wake up one day feeling broke without understanding how it happened. Every conversation you entertain, every argument you step into, every unnecessary explanation you give about your life, that's energy leaving your account. People treat energy like it's unlimited, like they can give pieces of themselves to every distraction and still have enough left to build something meaningful. But success demands focus, and focus demands energy. When your energy's scattered, your progress slows down. There's a different type of power that comes from being selective about where your energy goes. When you protect your mindset, when you stay intentional about what you allow around you, you build a stronger connection with your purpose. You start realizing that not every situation deserves your reaction, not every opinion deserves your attention, and not every person deserves your explanation. A lot of people waste their strongest energy trying to prove themselves to people who never planned to understand them in the first place. They spend hours defending their dreams, explaining their lifestyle, or arguing with negativity. And by the time they done, they mentally drain. Now they don't got the strength to focus on their goals. That's how distractions win. Not by stopping you directly, but by exhausting you slowly. When you treat energy like currency, you start making smarter decisions. You ask yourself if a conversation is worth your peace. You ask yourself if a relationship is helping your growth or slowing your momentum. You become more disciplined with your time because you understand time and energy move together. Where one goes, the other follows. Dreams require high-level energy. They require mental clarity, emotional strength, and physical dedication. That type of energy don't survive in environments filled with negativity, drama, and constant distraction. You gotta learn how to step away from situations that drain you, even if they're familiar. Growth sometimes means creating distance between who you used to be and who you're trying to become. People often underestimate how much energy negativity steals. One toxic conversation can sit in your mind for hours. One person doubting you can replay in your thoughts all day. And while you're replaying it, your focus drifting away from your goals. That's why discipline isn't just about working hard. Discipline is also about protecting your peace. Peace keeps your mind sharp. A sharp mind makes better decisions. Better decisions create better results. Another thing about energy is that it multiplies based on where you invest it. When you put energy into learning, you gain knowledge. When you put energy into practicing your craft, you gain skill. When you put energy into discipline, you gain confidence. But when you invest energy into gossip, stress, or constant comparison, you gain frustration and self-doubt. The return always matches the investment. You also got to understand that your energy influences people around you. When you focus, motivated, and disciplined, it creates a presence that speaks without words. People feel it, it commands respect because it shows you serious about your direction. But when your energy is scattered, when you're reacting to everything and everyone, it sends a message that you're not fully committed to your own path. Protecting your energy sometimes means being misunderstood. It means saying less. It means choosing silence over arguments. It means stepping back from environments that don't match your mindset anymore. Not everybody's going to understand that shift, but growth isn't about comfort. Growth is about alignment with your purpose. Strong individuals know that energy should be invested, not wasted. They wake up with intention. They structure their day around progress. They choose conversations that inspire them, environments that strengthen them, and habits that move them forward. They don't chase noise. They chase clarity. Success isn't just built on talent or opportunity. It's built on sustained energy, directed toward a clear vision. The ability to stay consistent, stay patient, and stay focused comes from having enough energy left after life throws distractions your way. That's why protecting your energy becomes part of the grind. It becomes part of the strategy. When you start respecting your energy, you naturally start respecting yourself more. You stop tolerating things that drain you. You stop explaining yourself to people who don't support your growth. You start moving with purpose because you understand every ounce of effort you give today shapes your future. Energy decides how far you can go, how strong you stay, and how clear you see your path. And once you understand that your energy holds that much power, you stop giving it away freely. You start investing it carefully, building it daily, and using it to create a life that reflects your discipline, your vision, and your commitment to becoming everything you know you're capable of being. There's a different kind of strength that comes from keeping parts of your life private. Not everything you're building needs an audience. Not every step of your journey needs to be shared, explained, or understood by the world. Some of the strongest growth happens in spaces where nobody watching, where the pressure of opinions doesn't exist, and where you can focus purely on becoming better. Privacy gives you room to breathe. It gives you space to learn without judgment and to fail without embarrassment. When everything about your life is public, Every mistake feels heavier because it comes with an audience. That pressure can slow your progress. It can make you afraid to take risks, afraid to try new ideas, afraid to grow in ways that require trial and error. But when your journey stays personal, failure becomes part of your training instead of something that defines you. There's also clarity that comes with privacy. When too many people are involved in your business, you start hearing too many opinions. Some people speak from fear, some speak from jealousy, some speak from their own limitations. And if you listen to all of them, your vision starts getting cloudy. Privacy protects your focus. It keeps your goals connected to your purpose instead of outside noise. Power grows in quiet environments. Just like muscles grow during rest after hard work, discipline grows when you're moving without needing recognition. The nights you stay dedicated with nobody checking on you, the mornings you wake up early without applause, the sacrifices you make that nobody celebrates. That's where real strength develops. That's where you prove to yourself that your commitment isn't built on attention, it's built on belief. When you keep your plans private, you give them time to develop into something solid. Ideas are fragile at the beginning. They need patience and consistency before they become strong enough to stand against doubt. If you expose them too early, they can be influenced or discouraged before they fully form. Privacy becomes protection for your vision, allowing it to grow naturally without interference. There's a certain confidence that comes from moving quietly. It's not loud or showy. It's calm and steady because it's built on preparation. When you know the work you're putting in behind closed doors, you don't feel the need to prove yourself with words. You carry yourself differently because your confidence comes from discipline, not validation. That type of confidence can't be shaken easily because it's rooted in experience. Privacy also protects your peace. Not everybody deserves access to your struggles, your plans, or your personal growth. Some people listen just to compare, some listen just to gossip, and sometimes sharing too much invites unnecessary energy into your life. Peace is important for progress. When your mind is calm, you think clearer. When you think clearer, you make better decisions. And better decisions create stronger results. Another part of privacy is learning who truly belongs in your circle. When everything about your life is visible, it becomes hard to tell who supports you genuinely and who just enjoys watching your journey from a distance. Keeping parts of your life personal allows you to build deeper, more meaningful connections with people who actually respect your path and understand your purpose. Strong foundations are built underground before anything rises above the surface. Buildings stand tall because their base is hidden but solid. Success works the same way. The work nobody sees is usually the reason people admire what they eventually see. The discipline, the late nights, the quiet sacrifices, and the moments of self-doubt you push through, those are the bricks that hold everything together. Privacy also keeps you grounded. When you constantly share your achievements, it can create pressure to maintain an image instead of focusing on real growth. But when your wins stay personal, they become reminders of progress rather than performances for approval. You stay focused on improvement instead of attention. Power isn't always loud. Sometimes it moves in silence, preparing, learning, and building until the results speak on their own. The strongest individuals understand that their journey is personal, their struggles are lessons, and their growth doesn't need constant exposure to be real. Keeping parts of your life private doesn't mean you hiding. It means you protecting what matters while it's developing. It means you respect your vision enough to give it the environment it needs to grow. It means you understand that not every chapter of your story is meant for public view. When you master privacy, you master focus. When you master focus, you strengthen discipline. And when discipline becomes part of your lifestyle, you build a type of power that doesn't depend on attention, approval, or outside validation. That kind of power stays with you, grows with you, and eventually shows itself through the results you create in the life you build through patience, dedication, and quiet determination.